I'm getting over a breakup and I'm just starting to see the light. I'm also getting closer and closer to 40 years old. I regret the things that didn't work out. I reminisce the intimacy we had and anybody loving me, kissing me, and holding me. I'd like to share 3 tips with you that I hope will be able to help you. Number 1, I'd love to invite you to love yourself, and love will find you. What do I mean by that? Hello, dear Patty. Thank you for such an amazing opportunity to ask you a question. I'm getting over a breakup and I'm just starting to see the light. I'm also getting closer and closer to 40 years old. And my personal life is not developing the way I'd imagined, or the way my family or society expected it to. And I know I should not care, but I do. And those beliefs are deep-seated in my mind. If you were to ask me what I want, I'll tell you that I want a partnership, a lover, a true friend to walk by my side and share my life with. I also know I need to be patient, but it's so hard. There are days where I'm positive and I'm hopeful, and there are days where I roll back in the abyss of despair. I start thinking about my ex and the breadcrumbs he extended my way, and I regret. I regret the things that didn't work out. I reminisce the intimacy we had and anybody loving me, kissing me, and holding me. The more I think of my age, the scarier it gets. I know this is not healthy to think this way, but I still do. I also know that this very limiting and fear-based thinking landed me in a broken relationship with my ex, where I gave myself up to a man who showed me whatever little love and attention. It could have been any man, really. Now that I'm out of the relationship, the fear remained with me. It simply keeps me afraid of the future. Fear of ending up alone, the fear of never having a family of my own, not having a true friend, children, and warmth of a home, my home. Please share advice on how to remain strong and hopeful, how to see the light in this endless tunnel. Hello, let's call you Samantha, just to protect your privacy as promised. Oh, Samantha, your letter moved me a lot, so much. But before I jump right into sharing some tips or some stories with you to help you out, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're the first person who sent me a letter at the Toronto to Run show, and I will forever be grateful that you trusted me with this. I will do everything I can to help you out with all the resources that I have and that helped me. That being said, I'm really sorry that you're grieving the loss of this man. I could feel the sting. I could feel that it left you feeling lonely, extremely lonely. And I can so connect with that. Feeling this yearning to be with someone and wondering, where is he, and then being disappointed over and over again. And I also feel like more than the loss of this man, it sounds to me like you grieve the loss of the relationship. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm feeling right now. That you probably made yourself a movie into your head. And I'm talking about a movie because I've been in that situation actually a few years back. So I was single for about 5 years, waiting for the man God had planned for me, and just patiently doing the work and the healing from all my past trauma over the last few decades. And then at one point, I met a very nice candidate, and I was all hopeful. And I said, maybe that's the man God has planned for me. So I just made up a whole movie in my head, projecting myself far in the future. It was a very, very short relationship. So my colleagues, you can go shop for your wedding dress. I think this is the one. And I made up a whole situation in my head, which turned out to be completely false. It was a man who was misrepresenting himself. And luckily, I caught it fast enough. Okay, instead of wasting years, like what I could have done in the past, I realized I started paying attention to the red flags. And I said, something's off. Weird things kept coming up, and I was paying attention because I was in an assessment period to see if this person really was who I thought he was. So lucky for me, I found out very quickly that he was not it. But somehow, following that, I grieved. Not the loss of this man, because I had not had time to develop strong feelings for him, but the loss of what could have been, of this relationship that I had been yearning for. yeah, it was a bit of disappointment. And it took me like a year. I don't want to call it a depression, but of just disappointment and disillusion. And that's the sense that I'm getting from your letter right now. It has helped. Thank God I had my therapist to help me out and give me some pointers on how to heal and, go forward and continue to do the work on myself so that I can attract the right person. So same thing with you. It sounded like this man was inadequate, that he was not doing it for you for some reason. It sounded like he was not filling your cup because you were saying that he was just, he was not giving you what you needed or what you wanted. He seemed pretty clear on that he was just not the right man for you. So that being said, I'd like to share 3 tips with you that I hope will be able to help you. Number 1, Samantha, I'd love to invite you to love yourself, and love will find you. What do I mean by that? Is that it seems like you're putting a lot of energy into finding this man, and you put a lot of energy into this other man who was not the right person for you. And I feel like you need to just start putting the attention on yourself. I don't know what you're into, what your hobbies are, what your dreams are, whatever you're dreaming of as a little girl. I wish I could do this, I could do that. Whatever it is, do it. Do it now. Don't delay. Pick up, I don't know, dance lessons, pick up, Spanish lessons or whatever language that you want to learn. I'm saying Spanish. It could be Mandarin. It could be any language that really would interest you. Find your dreams. Pick up gardening, start meditating, maybe start to explore developing a relationship with God. Whatever it is that your heart wants, give it to yourself so you can grow. And as you grow, you'll become more and more the version of the woman who you'd like to be and who God had planned for you to be. And he has plans. God has plans for you. I don't know what you believe in, but I believe in God. That's my faith. But even if you believe in a higher power or whatever it is, that shows that there is a plan, and you wallowing over another man is not the plan. Okay, the plan is for you to grow, and the love will find you. And I'm not meaning like, okay, you love to watch Netflix and lying down and hoping that the Amazon driver will knock at your door and that'll be your love. Yeah, it might be, but the point is, I'm not telling you to just lie there and just wait, but do the work on yourself and you will attract the right man to you. Okay, but it starts with loving yourself, because if you don't do the proper healing work, if you don't love yourself, if the right man would come along, you would not be able to retain him. You would lose a relationship because you would sabotage it somehow, right? So I would like to invite you to do the work. And that's the most important tip I could give you right now. Do the work, find your God-given path, find your life purpose, and get busy with it. And that's when the blessings will come your way. That was number 1. Number 2, I would like to invite you to be very specific with what you want. Because, sometimes we're pretty flexible, and in desperation, sometimes we're just prepared to get whatever is half decent, right? But if you want a quality man, a man that you want to spend the rest of your life with, because it sounds like you want to have a family and have children, what you need to do is get specific, like this specific, I had made a whole list myself a few years ago, actually, with, 32 points of what I was looking for in a man, and be very, very specific. Really, don't be shy. If you want a man who's a great acts of service man, quality time man, free, single, non-smoker, fit physically, whatever it is, be very, very specific. Because, again, I don't know what you believe in. I believe in God. God answering my prayers, but let's say you believe in the law of attraction, just the law of attraction. When you can visualize, or the power of visualize, sorry, I always struggle with this word, visualization. If you can be specific with what you want, you'll recognize it when it comes to you. So really get specific. It's an important exercise to do, so that at least there's some things that are unacceptable, the deal breakers for you. So you should not start negotiating over certain things. If you practice the faith and you want a man of faith, well, don't diverge from that. You understand? Or some certain core values. If like non-smoker, for me, it's a deal breaker completely. I cannot be with somebody who smokes, for instance. Or whatever it is for you, be very, very clear and stick to it. Okay. That was my second tip. The third tip, very, very important tip as well. Don't get tangled up into situationships because of your loneliness. I will explain. So sometimes, we have a lot of attention. from the other gender, right? So you're lonely, you're waiting for this man, clearly did not work with your ex. So maybe you have other men around who are trying to get your attention, trying to keep you entertained, or you understand, of feeling less lonely. So please don't give in. If you know that they're not the one for you, that they're just friends, just be cautious not to get tangled up into that, because when you're dealing with other individuals, you're blocking energetically. You're still connected, or you're connecting yourself to all these individuals, and then you won't have time for yourself and to grow and to heal. And then you won't even be available to meet the right person. You understand? So I would just encourage you to really take this time to be alone, fully alone, to really do the work, really get closer to God. And it's an opportunity that most people don't have. Like parents, I'm a parent. So when you're a parent, when you're a wife, like you have other obligations, other priorities. So it's very, very hard to do the work for yourself. But when you're single, this is it. You can go all in, start your own business, go through therapy, start writing a book, start whatever it is you want to do. But your dreams, live your dreams. But you cannot do that when when you're busy with situationships, because they are energy suckers. And I lied. I have a confession. I told you I had 3 things, but it's not true. I have 2 more things to tell you. If you may, just humor me, please. Number 4. I know how you mentioned that you were terrified at the idea of being alone forever and never having a family of your own and your own home. But look around you. I don't know where you are in the world, but there are a lot of people who are connected to the wrong people, who are not even, they're miserable. Okay, they're not living, they're not with the right person. Okay, so please, I know you're saying you're nearing 40. I mean, if you must explore options about freezing eggs or whatever, but don't rush into a relationship just because you want to make a baby. Okay, there are other options to explore, but for now, you don't want to be stuck with the wrong person. I spent a few years of my life being stuck in the wrong relationships. It will serve you no good, and you will not be pleased with that outcome. Okay, so you just enjoy your single days. Don't rush, because then you'll be stuck, with the wrong partner, and then you're gonna have to start all over again. So make sure to be very selective and to find the right person that you can build a beautiful life with. And you mentioned something about regrets of what could have been. And it just made me think, I'm reading this amazing book right now, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware. So she was a palliative care nurse who spent a lot of time with patients on their deathbed. And they were she calls it the top 5 regrets of the dying, because there was always the same regrets that kept coming up. And I can assure you, on your deathbed, you won't be thinking, oh, I wonder what it could have been with this man who wasn't adequate and not good for me. You won't be saying this. You're going to wish, I wish I would have enjoyed my youth when I was young. I could have traveled. I could have done this. I could have done that. I wish I could have put more time into building myself up and growing and healing so that I would attract the right person. You will not be thinking, oh, I wish that relationship that did not work out worked out. You understand? And the first recurring regret that Bronnie shares is, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. So my dear Samantha, let this be your invitation. Don't wait until it's too late, until you're on your deathbed to start wishing that you would have lived your life. Do it now. You have an opportunity to do it now. I don't know what you look like, Samantha, okay? But I feel connected to you. And I feel like you have a beautiful soul and you're clearly extremely intelligent. Please start living now. Don't stay in your abyss of despair over this man. Just to wrap it up, number 1, love yourself and love will find you. Number 2, write down a list of exactly what you want from a man. Exactly. Number 3, do not entertain situationships. Number 4, don't rush into a relationship. Wait till you meet the right person to build a family. You'll thank me later. And number 5, have the courage to live a life true to yourself, not the one that others would expect of you. Okay. So I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for your trust. Please let us know how you're doing. Write me another letter in the future to let me know if there are any developments. I'd love to hear from you, and I would love to feature your letters again if you come back. Dear friend, I hope you found this helpful. Please don't be shy. Don't be shy. It's anonymous, so feel free to send me a letter. There's some very specific instructions on the process on how to get your letter selected. I would love to be able to read your letter and also give you some advice that hopefully can help you. Some advice in some of my stories, because I have lots of stories from, oh my goodness, I can write books. But yes, I'm looking forward to reading you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.